I recently read the book 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos by author and clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson. Over the course of my career, I've experienced long periods of uncertainty and self-doubt. At times I would ask myself, is what I'm doing going to actually matter? I felt like my career was on the verge of falling apart and falling into chaos. In an effort to limit these chaotic periods in my work life, I picked up Jordan Peterson's book to find a couple of rules that I could rely on to regain order when things feel chaotic. Of all his 12 rules, there were 2 rules that I incorporated into my life to navigate times of chaos. Rule number 1, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. You and I, as human beings, constantly compare ourselves to other people. If you start noticing that you're more skilled and successful than other people around you, your brain will release a neurochemical called serotonin. When you have a good amount of serotonin in your blood, you feel confident and in control of your life. But the second your mind notices a person who threatens your status and makes you look incompetent, your brain restricts serotonin, and those good feelings go away. You start doubting yourself, you feel a low sense of self-worth, and your future seems uncertain and on the verge of chaos. And now that you spend most of your life online, connected to billions of people, it doesn't take your brain long to notice ways in which you look incompetent compared to other people. You think you're a good guitar player? Well, there are dozens of exceptional guitar players on YouTube that will make you look completely incompetent. You're proud of graduating from that local college with a business degree? Well, your friend on Facebook just posted a photo of him graduating from Harvard with an MBA. You think you're a successful entrepreneur because your company generated $1 million this year? Well, here's an article about a CEO whose company generates $100 million a year, and she built her company in half the time you did. When you're exposed to so many people that are better than you, and the gap between you and them is so large, you're more inclined to give up and let your life slip into a state of chaos. The best way to stop that from happening is to stop comparing yourself to who someone else is today and start comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. I like to see every day that I've lived as a different version of myself, almost like a separate person. By isolating who I was yesterday and asking myself, was I the best possible version of myself yesterday? I think, did I do my best to stay healthy, energized, and fully engaged? Did I do my best to make a positive difference? And did I do my best to be kind and generous to others? I rate that version of myself yesterday on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being my ideal self. This process of looking back on who I was yesterday always reveals a few ways in which I can be a little bit better. By focusing on those ways in which I can improve on who I was yesterday, I'm less concerned about what other people are doing, and more concerned about being a better version of myself at the end of today. Because I know if at the end of the day, I'm slightly better than who I was yesterday, I'll get a good dose of serotonin, feel good about myself, and stop my downward spiral into chaos. Rule number 2, tell the truth, or at least don't lie. The amount with which you can improve on yesterday will be capped by how truthful you are willing to be today. Until you face the truth, any improvements you make on who you were yesterday will be meaningless. Instead of moving forward, you'll just be moving sideways. To make forward progress, you need to acknowledge what truth you're avoiding and what uncomfortable conversations you have to have with yourself and others. A good friend of mine recently had a period of discomfort after taking an honest look at his career path. He was on the fast track to upper management, and he was being groomed to be the next CEO of the software firm he was working for. When he graduated from college, his goal was to become a high-level manager. It sounded interesting, it looked good on paper, and it would provide him with enough money to live a comfortable life. But years later, he learned that management wasn't for him. The truth was, he'd rather be a software developer. My friend had to admit that he'd been wrong about what he wanted, and he had to find the courage to tell his coworkers and his family the truth. He did, and because he did, he now wakes up every day as a software developer. He's excited to look for ways he can be better than who he was yesterday, because any progress he makes moves him toward a future he truly wants, not a future he's pretending to want. Another way to tell the truth is to have uncomfortable conversations with people who are preventing you from making progress. Jordan Peterson explains one such conversation in his book. Peterson was living next door to an ex-con biker who liked to get drunk, knock on his door in the middle of the night, and try to sell him a toaster or a microwave. The man was making Peterson's wife uncomfortable, and he was making it hard to sleep. At first, to avoid having an uncomfortable conversation, Peterson would give the man money for his items, hoping he would just go away. But the man kept coming back. Until one night, Peterson decided he needed to have an honest conversation with this ex-con biker. Peterson looked the man straight in the eyes and told him, "You're making my wife uncomfortable, and I'm not going to give you any more money to support your drinking habit." The man glared at him for 15 seconds, trying to sense weakness. But Peterson stood his ground. Eventually, the man turned around and never came back to his house drunk again. When Peterson would run into the man sober during the daytime, the man seemed to have more respect for Peterson, and their relationship steadily improved over the years. This story reminds me of what author Tim Ferriss once said. A person's success in life can usually be measured by the number of uncomfortable conversations he or she is willing to have. Having an uncomfortable conversation is like having a controlled fire to burn the dead wood in a forest so that the nutrients can return back to the soil and allow future trees to grow and prevent the dead wood from building up and causing a raging inferno that destroys the entire forest and the soil. After reading this chapter on truth in Peterson's book, I now ask myself a second question when assessing who I was yesterday. I ask, did I do my best to tell the truth? This gets me thinking of something I didn't want to do but agreed to do because I didn't want to have an uncomfortable conversation. Or when I pretended to know something, but in fact didn't know what I was talking about. If my day had a few of these instances, I'd give myself a 1 or a 2 on a scale of 10. Enough 1s and 2s in a row provides me with enough motivation to speak up, have uncomfortable conversations, and stop my downward spiral into chaos. That was the core message that I gathered from 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. It's a deep and somewhat dark book, but it has many great truths embedded in it. I highly recommend it. If you would like a 1-page PDF summary of insights that I gathered from this book, just click the link below and I'll be happy to email it to you. If you've already signed up for the Productivity Game email newsletter, this PDF is sitting in your inbox. If you like this video, please share it. And as always, thanks for watching and have yourself a productive week.